Good evening, everyone. How are we doing? Hello. Zero Moods, how are you? So, I know this is a surprise stream, but I've missed my stream on Tuesday. So, here we are. I'll be streaming again tomorrow. So, let's start with the machine, right? Okay, I'm good. Great, so apparently we've just finished the community challenge. Thank you for the follow, Real Port Buster. So, we've just finished the community challenge, which means we're gonna be doing a 24-hour stream soon. Nice. I'll need to plan that, so I'll need to select some machines and make sure that we have everything working. So, if you have any suggestions, drop them in Discord, and I'll make a poll in Discord, and we can select some machines. Okay? I think that would be the best way to do it. Then you guys see some machines that you want, but the idea with that OSCP stream is we're gonna do the machines, and we're gonna go through the reporting part as well. Yeah, I'm not gonna check it out on stream, but drop the link on Discord and I can have a look after. Right. Let me boot up the machine because it's not booted up. Oh, and you need to see what I'm actually doing, don't you? Yeah. Discord, not stream, please. Okay, let's wait for the IP. So, yeah, happy about that. Should be fine. I'm not entirely sure when I'll be doing that 24-hour stream. It's probably gonna be on a Friday. So start Friday, let's say 8 o'clock, and then we can go up to Saturday evening. The idea is, as I said, I want to do the 5 or 6 machines depending on what we select, and then walk you through the reporting part as well. And before you ask, no, I will not be taking a sleep break. It's gonna be a continuous stream. The only pauses I'll probably do is for some food here and there, but other than that, no. I do not suggest you do that at your exam though, for OSCP. That you need to plan in such a way that you do take some breaks to sleep. Of course. So we have 22 and 80. Kind of the standard for a HackTheBox medium. So let's open up Verb. Let's see, is there a domain name attached to it? Yeah, gaveld.htb. So let's add that to our host file. So because it's a named host, one of the first things that I'm gonna do is run a subdomain scanner. So let's do that. User share word lists, discovery, DNS. Yeah, that should be fine. Ignore comments, and let's see what filters we need to apply to that. So we need to apply, I'm gonna go with filter lines 10. And while that's running, we can also start one for directory brute forcing on the main domain. So reft large, that's fine. Again, ignore comments, and this is going to be gaveld.htb. Would a Friday stream work for you guys? I think that would be the best, because as I said, having to go to work the next day is probably not a good idea. So doing it on a Friday seems like the best option. Okay, so we can register. So yeah, that shouldn't be a problem really. I can get 2-3 hours between when I finish work and when I start streaming, so that's doable. With OSCP, I did a similar thing, and that's a 48-hour exam. I started at 1 a.m. Friday to Saturday. Okay, so it tells me I have 50,000, but when I'm placing a bid of 5,000, it errors out. Anyway, the idea is we're trying to find functionality. Okay, so we've successfully placed a bid there, that's fine. Let me take some screenshots. So we've placed the bid. Do we have the traffic in here? Yes, we do. We can look at that afterwards. I just want to see my scans. Nothing interesting and nothing on subdomains. So, a bit of manual enumeration here. Let's have a look. User ID 2 sort. Okay. So we've successfully placed the bid here. We can play around with that. Let's send that to repeater because we want that. There's also the inventory which has a post. And of course we have the login and register, but we can look at that later. Let's send that to repeater. Actually, no, intruder. Add numbers 1 to 20 sequential start attack. The response size is the same, so I doubt there's anything for other users there. So there's no IDOR there. We know there's another user because our user ID is actually user ID 2. I'm just trying to see if I can make it throw an error or anything of that sort, but apparently not here. At the moment I'm just looking for very basic stuff. Auction has ended for item -1. 60. Do we have anything in our inventory? Yes, we actually got something now. Okay. I have a funny feeling that there's an automated job to add more bids. Greater than 0. That should be greater than 0, shouldn't it? Okay, so it's checking our funds as well. I'm assuming that's being parsed as an int. Yeah. Which means it will drop the quote mark. Yeah. 65, quote mark. So that's not causing any issues. It's probably because they're being stripped. And it being PHP, when you do string to int with the built-in functions, it will actually strip any other characters, so I can put anything there. And it just takes in 65. So let's have a look at the inventory as well. Oh, we bought another thing. What's that? Oh. Nothing useful. So let's do nice. Congratulations on starting it. You need to let us know how it goes. There we go. Oh, nice. You're moving fast. So we found admin.php. By the time we get to the harder modules, you're gonna be prepped for them, so you're gonna be fine. There we go. What's rules? Okay, so rules is forbidden, but we do have admin and we have includes that we can look at. Admin, yeah, it's just a redirect. Okay, so I do want to see what's with the rules there and includes. Oh, this is HackTheBox. Yeah, but those are just includes files and we won't be able to see anything. I did. I've had issues with Ferox Buster because it was basically fully overloading some of the VMs, and then I couldn't do anything else in the meantime. I know Ferox Buster will go through directories on its own. I might even have it or not. I used to use it in the past, but no, I've stuck with FUF. Not sure exactly why, but it works for me. So as I said, config, db, auction, and session won't help us in really any way, and I'll show you why. Because it will just return an empty string. Okay, so it will FUF will check recursively as well. The thing is, sometimes it will get stuck in stuff like assets, and it will go through assets, JavaScript, CSS, which is pointless. So this way I do it manually and just choose the directories that I want to have a look at. It can be, and if you're playing for time, you need to select your targets as best as you can. Let's see if we can find anything in the text here that would help us, but I doubt that. It's talking about a rule engine for bidding. I wonder if there's anything about regex. We'll have to test that out. So yeah, that will work. Okay. Let's put it as 1 so we have it in burp. Auction ended. That's 75, okay. Greater than 0. Is that always going to be the case? Come on, give me another auction ID. $77. I'm just trying to see if get request actually does anything. No, it still gets auction ended. Have I missed any subdomains or anything of that sort? Might be. I just wanted common. I think there are. Or not. No, not yet. I haven't scanned for UDP ports just yet. I'm looking at the stuff that I can see, and then once I get stuck and I don't have any way forward, then I'll probably look at some other stuff as well. But at the moment, I don't feel like we've enumerated everything that's, because we have an admin. Okay. And I'm assuming this is user 3. Yeah. So we do have a username in there, because the IDs are sequential. We can test some SQL injection in here. We can actually put this through SQL map. Invalid username and password. You know what, that might not be such a bad idea. And for the register as well. We could do the same. Let's cancel the subdomains. Do I want to proxy everything? No, I don't. Okay, so we can leave SQL map to work on that, and we can have another look. What? Okay, SQL map, go away, we don't need you anymore. We have git. We have git data. Where is it? That's not it. Yeah, git tools. Dumper. Okay, so basically what this allows us to do is to recover the code from there. That's why we have the git dumper there. I want to go in here, put git data. So here we go, and our URL will be gavel.htb. So make sure you never actually commit your .git folder. It's not just because it contains all your source code, but it also may contain credentials and git config and stuff like that. By the way, if you have it will read the files. We can have a look at git dumper as well. Let me just finish this and then we can have a look at the script. It reads the reference files from the initial files in Git. So refs contains references to objects, and it basically recreates the folder structure for Git, and then you can go in and use git log, git checkout, and all of that. But we can have a look at the source code as well if you want. So first it should download the reference. Actually, why don't we just do this? Come on. There we go. So it starts download, but you need to give it the URL and the folder where you want to go. It prints out the header, that's fine. Missing git directory, that's the error that we got, and then we have start download, and basically it adds all of this to the queue to check for files. Download item. I'm just looking where it's extracting the objects. Yeah, so it's looking for objects. Creates a new target, creates a new, goes into the directory, removes the target, but I still don't see where it's extracting the hashes. So hashes plus cat target. Yeah, so object name. It's going through all the files and getting the object references. All those loads of files, which we should now have in there. There we go. Why did they add all of the SVGs in the Git repository? Yeah, so so as you can see, I don't have any files in this repository, but I can still recover them from the deleted section. By the way, for the git dumper, I think there's a Python version as well, if I remember correctly. So we have index, inventory, register. Oh, default.yaml. Let's see, can we access that? Yeah. So it's an eval. Well, here's a program for you. Write the git dumper in Python. It's something that you can add to your GitHub profile. Okay. Do you guys see what... So the current bit is basically an int that's being passed to an eval. But let's restore the files. What was the command here? I think I can do git restore everything. There we go. So now we can have a look at the source code. Nothing in the database that can... It's just gavel, gavel, gavel. Bid handler. Let's see. Do we have an eval? Where are the rules? Rule check. Where's rule check coming from? No, that's annoying. In any case, we don't necessarily need that. Let's see what admin does. And role has to be different than auctioneer. Okay. Basically what we're doing now is code reviewing to see what we can potentially action on the site. So, okay. We know the path where it's running from. It's always helpful if you need to write files there. Okay, so each auction is getting their own YAML file. That's going via prepare statements. There's no SQL injection there. That's also prepare statements. So rules are parsed from default YAML and it's being created. Yeah, so it's creating an YAML file per auction, but we don't have any control over that, and it's all prepare statements. So that's not gonna help us in any way. So assets items.json, that should also exist. There we go. So that's all our items that we can see on the website, but again, nothing nothing that would help us in this case. Although it does help to understand how the website works. So bit handler, where ID, but this, as you can see, this is as a prepare statement again. Oh wait, we weren't to the top. Must be logged in, that's fine, that's based on session. And as I said, it's using the built-in integer converter from PHP, which strips anything after the digits. Anything to do with... Thank you. Thank you for the hydrate. If you guys want me to explain any of the codes in more detail, let me know. I'm just looking for a way in at the moment, so I'm just skimming through the code. And this is something that you would have to do quite a lot for OSWE. So the web part of OffSec. That's ID. We're getting the username here from the session. What I'm thinking, maybe second order SQL injection or something of that sort, where you store it in the database first, and then when you view this page, it executes here. I'm not sure. That would be annoying to exploit though. So if not user or user money less than insufficient funds, that's fine. Again, prepare statements, so, and it says a transaction. Okay, so it's introducing our username as highest bidder. That's fine. So the session lasts for half an hour there? Yeah. We don't have access to admin PHP just yet, so let's have a look at what's going on in here. So we need to somehow get our role to be auctioneer. From what I can see, as the code is based around that, it's a hard-coded check. Let's have a look at inventory, because this one that's a prepare statement. No SQL injection in there. That's just building an array. This is prepare statement again. We don't have access over the item names and all of that, but it's also escaped, so there's no cross-site scripting. Let's have a look at register. I want to see how the role is being set up. So username, trim post username, password, okay. So letters, numbers, digits and underscore, minimum of 3, maximum of 20. It checks for the username, which is why I tried admin, but admin doesn't exist. Password hash, this is probably gonna be bcrypt by default. Role. So the role is set as user here. Okay. So let's go back to admin then. Is there actually a point in us going to the admin, trying to get admin PHP? If there's no functionality in here to tell us. Wait. So we have Sado. I'm going through the commits now to see if there are any credentials or anything left in here that might be useful. So I'm looking at, where was the rule execution? Bit handler. So this is run kit. What does this do actually? I know the rules are basically like an eval. Okay, so as I said, there's a potential for remote code execution through this because it operates as an evaluate. So what data are we sending to the function? We have current bid, previous bid, and bidder as arguments, and if we go at rules default, that would be the rule. The function would be that. So bidding is restricted to an even numbered username. Nice. We cannot add, so our username cannot be, oh, this is a medium. I know. Not necessarily. So my train of thought is we could in theory inject something into our username at register, but let me check. What's the regex again? No, we cannot. No, that won't work because we cannot actually add data in there. So that won't work. Would have been nice, but no. That's not a prepared statement. So call here is actually not a prepared statement. So we do have an SQL injection. Okay. Let's in sort. No, let's wait, what was it? From inventory. Probably session timed out. Yeah. And we made it fail. Okay, well, I'm not doing SQL injection manually, so copy that, not login request, put it in there. But it doesn't matter. Where's my SQL? SQL map. Actually, I will want to proxy this one. But yeah, basically that's an SQL injection. Let's close that one because we don't no longer need it. And let me take some notes. So that's in inventory. Right. Notes taken. I should have said it's MySQL to start off with, so we don't go through all the tests, but it is what it is now. How come my inventory is empty? Oh. Name. Because if we look at the code in inventory here, if it's quantity, it's doing a specific sort. If not, it's going into order by item name. Oh, but it's only selecting that column, so item name should work. Yeah, there we go. We're now getting results. So we might need to provide this to because it cannot detect the false positive. So item name is our injection query. Oh wait, quit. Help. DBMS MySQL. It is injectable. I can Bet my glasses on that. It's just a different type of injection because it's not happening in the where clause, it's happening in the select statement. So let's have a look. So it's selecting that column from inventory where user ID equals our user ID ordered by item name ascending. But then how is it outputting? It's only outputting the name. No, it's outputting the image as well. Where is that coming from? Nice. Well, it's easy for you. Think of it that way. It might not be easy for everyone else. No, no worries. Lurking is fine. I'm just trying to figure out where it's getting the details, if it's only selecting the column name there. Oh no, it's coming from the item meta, okay. So this is coming from inventory, which is our user specific data, and the rest is coming from items. Okay, any luck? It doesn't seem to be injectable. Well, I think SQL map is drunk. What do we need to do? That, and then we have but what's gonna happen with the item name results? It's getting the first key, so item name. And then item name is passed into there. And if it fails, it still populates the name, which means we have one column to extract data with. Okay. That means we can extract table names, we can extract other data. However, we don't necessarily need to we don't necessarily need. Oh, thank you for the follow, Dante Fanboy. Hopefully that's your name. It just scrolled by. Yeah. So we have one column to extract the data, which is the column name there, which we're passing in here. We need to do something interesting to be able to extract that data, and that is we can do item name as it, and then we can also do select, what was it, table name from Tables. I'll have to double check that. As item name. Basically, we are renaming the columns from inventory. And then we can do block off the query. Yeah. So I'm renaming the columns because in the code here it's looking for item name first. If not, it's getting the first key. It's always getting the first key there. So that's why I need to extract it as item name if I want it to be displayed. And that did not work. Do I need to URL encode it? No, that's still failing. Why? Don't go away. Oh. Come on. So let's do something simpler. No, that doesn't work either. So our query is wrong there. Is it? Oh yeah. Good point. Do we need to encode it? Sorry, it's just getting very hot. Let me open up a door. Let me have a think. But yeah, good catch. I forgot about the string replace there. Coder. Oh, so that's still not doing it. Double encoding. That's triple, but it's fine. No, still empty. So we have the column there, and we're passing in user ID through here. This user ID is coming in as a parameter, so we cannot use that. It needs to be the sort order. String replace it. Does it do multiple or just one? I don't remember. I'm not sure if it does all instances or just the first one. Actually, we can test. Okay, so it does a full replace on all instances, so no matter how many we send in, it will still replace all of them. I didn't remember if it replaced all instances or just the first occurrence, but it replaces everything. Okay. Back to the drawing board there. Because basically our input here becomes let's see how we bypass that. So it's item name normally from inventory. If we pass in that, it doesn't do anything. We could PDO SQL injection. This looks familiar, doesn't it? Can you guys read this? Or so this one looks very similar to what we have in there. Well, get another monitor. Or you can watch the VOD afterwards if you're busy. Well, the playlist is Late Night Vibes from Spotify. Okay, so we need a null character in there, don't we? The null byte. Okay. And we seem to have found our injection point. And the inventory is still empty. Is it? Oh no, so wait, that needs to go into... Okay, so that needs to go into user ID, and that needs to go... The null byte goes into our injection point. So that needs to be column and user ID equals, and we can have it as item name. Doesn't really matter. Select from table name. Still empty. Hmm. Trying to figure out how this is supposed to work. Okay. So that's hash. For us, that's sort. So item name from table name as that's the column name that we need here as well. So and we need it in the code. Dude, you're fast. Slow down. Let's just comment it out. Can we comment it out without a hash here, like that? Nope. That's hash. That's hash to comment out. So we're commenting out sort basically. Item name from select. Table name as, and we have our query there. I didn't say you didn't. Sorry, I was talking to myself. I'm trying to quote it. 20 for space. That's 27. What's quote? No, 20. So that's 20. 20. 20. What was that again? 23. Nope. Why are my burp shortcuts not working anymore? If I do, it double encodes everything, and I don't want it to do that. Oh. Maybe Twitch is having some outages. Welcome to the party, sick in the mind. Blame it on Cloudflare. So the sort column basically makes a jump back there, and we're getting item name from what's with the Y there? Okay, that's a derived table. Y, okay. So that Y is not necessarily needed there. Actually, we could just leave it as X, because that would give it the initial column based on our code here. No, still inventory is empty. Are we still logged in? Yes. Nope. No, no, no. Let's switch back to item name. And let's put yeah, so basically you can either name it as that, or you can do as to basically give it a different name, just like this condition here. Basically table name as a different, you name it differently, but it's not necessarily needed there. I'm trying to figure out why this is not working in our case. Let's compare the code. So PDA what are we replacing in our code with? With nothing. Well, it wouldn't get replaced anyway, would it? It wouldn't. So we have the null byte there. We have item name from. So the only one that I'm not sure about is the hash. And it worked. Look at the scroll bar here. We have table names. So the comment, the hash comment did not work in this situation, but it works with the normal. Let me check. Will this work? Nope. So in our instance, it looks like it does not accept the hash sign as yeah, I'm sure. So we have users. Right, let's take a screenshot of that and add it to our notes. And I'll also add the article. Do you guys want the article link in chat as well? Okay, so we could do this programmatically, but I think we just need the users. If we don't get anything interesting from users, we can do it programmatically and actually dump all the data. Column name as item name from if I could remember, MySQL injection. Column name where table name equals users. And that doesn't work, probably because of the quotes there. Yeah, so actually no, we don't even need to do that. No, because we have the register, we know the column names. Why am I being stupid? What's the time for you? I'm assuming around 2 a.m. So I'm just gonna export password from users. Select password as item name from users. There we go. So we've managed to get the password. Well, good night then. And see you tomorrow for another stream. If you want to join it, that is. So we've got the password for the user. We don't know yet the new file. Let's move. Let's make a new file hash and that's a bcrypt. I think I have it in here. Loot, hashcat, check A0. There we go. Trying to crack that hash, see if it works. Let's extract the usernames. Username as item name. Because I know I have 2 users, but we don't know the user for the first one. Oh. Might be our second password that we need then. Let me scan. Let me grab all of them. Because I don't know which one is the correct one. Two of them are mine. So there's that. Oh, midnight one. So we have actually cracked it. Let me just take a screenshot of it. So auctioneer with midnight one, we can log in there and then we have a look at the admin PHP, or we can also try SSH. Let me just put that into my notes. There we go. So let's log in as admin and see what we have. So we can edit rules and edit message, but let's see what functionality that actually gives us. But we need to move back to the get status. No, that's no, we're still on the old commit. And now I don't have the older commits, do I? No, I do. That one. Right, so let's see. What can we do with the admin panel? I know what we can do. Thank you for the follow, Naomi. Welcome to the stream. Oh. Return system request CMD. But it doesn't. I'm good. How about you? You thought you'd join the fun for some hacking? Or at least see me try to hack? Let's see if we can execute commands. Oh, login. Why did I? So the idea is we can edit the rules here, and it should in theory execute because of how where's the bid of this. The rule that we get will be executed when we place a bid. So what I'm thinking here, serve 80. I just want to test. That's 1421. Return system curl HTTP 10.10.14.21. Actually, we don't need to do that. We can just do return true afterwards. Nothing. And it's goblin. Okay. Bidding. Unexpected error. And we did not get the callback. Double get. And we get the callback. So we got remote code execution through the functions being created dynamically in PHP. Right, I need this, where's my browser tool? There we go, this one. 10, 10, 14, 21, 8443. Yeah, that should work. We use Penelope, and then in here, let's use the one with the highest time. Come on. Unexpected error. Maybe the rules are being cleared. Is that the domain? There we go. So we've managed to get a shell back. Oh. Yeah, Haunted Quill is the one that gave us a reverse shell. And we are dub data. Yeah. So I noticed this initially, and the first time I saw the code for the rules, I thought it was an eval in PHP, but it wasn't. It's actually runkit create function, which is even better because this one actually adds a function on the fly in PHP. So you can add basically any valid PHP code in the rule, and that will be treated as a function body. So we now have a shell as data. Let me just take a screenshot of that. I'm starting to like Penelope quite a lot for reverse shells. One of the benefits is you get the payloads. And it automatically fixes your terminal and everything. You don't have to deal with any of that. So, anything in? No. Yeah, exactly. So it has, it's not a one-off like Netcat. You have to open it multiple times. Yep. Actually, I've seen it. Yeah, exactly. So it's handling multiple connections. I've seen it first on, I think it was Tyler from Hack Smarter, on one of his streams. So, right, we need to. What users are we dealing with? We actually have auctioneer as well. Please don't tell me. Don't work. Okay, good. It didn't. So we need to move to auctioneer here. Right, the usual Linux enumeration culprits, and that's linps. Oh. Uh, 21. Should we use one of the recent copy fail to just get root? What do you guys think? That would probably be cheating, wouldn't it? No, let's do the intended path, and then if we have time afterwards, we can look at copy fail as well. But yeah, I know, but what the heck is that? Oh no, that's me. That's my shell. Yeah, I was just looking at him. What? And then I realized, wait, it's my shell. Okay, so we have, apparently we have 2 MySQL instances running. Let's see what else is in here. Those are the Git objects that we've worked with. Just a second, I need to drink something because I just did. Okay, so let's see. What do we have there? There's a root script. Yeah. You're right. Would be better if I would be drinking water, not this stuff, but I'll take what I can get. At least I'm not drinking Monster at 11 o'clock in the evening. And that's a plus. So there are some scripts running here, but we probably don't have read-write access over them. So I think my next step is to look into MySQL. So anything else in here? HTML. Admin, we've seen that one. We've seen all the files in there. So includes config, and that's just Gavel. Okay. I just want to see if there's anything in here, and then we can try to connect to the other one as well. No. Okay, exit. 33060. Wait, these are our users. It's the same database on 2 different ports. Yes, okay. Well, that's not helpful. I don't have a password. Okay. We can try this. And it works. It doesn't work for SSH, but it works for SU. Let's get user.txt. Where's my browser? So, yeah, we've managed to actually get, using password reuse, basically, to move into auctioneer. There we go. Now, what's left is privilege escalation. There's nothing here. There were some scripts in root, but those were not really helpful, so let's run linpiece again. 10, 10, 14, 21, because I need to copy it again because of permissions issues. I know, I'm lazy and I don't want to enumerate manually. But there is a reason why these scripts were invented. Oh, I should have removed the cloud option. There we go. This is the latest run, so let's have a look from here. Good night and thanks for being here for the stream. Not sure if you caught it, but I'll be streaming again tomorrow and on Sunday. If you want to join, I'll be here. I wonder what that group has access to. There we go. That's a binary that we need to look into. And we have some files in opt. Just some more stuff to look into. So okay, let's start with opt. Okay. Okay, we don't have access to the submission directory. Strings can be. Let's look at that in a minute. User local bin. Okay, we have access over this because we're the group. File. Another binary. Great. Strings. So we need to belong to the Gavel sellers group, which we do. That's interesting. Let's check the other one. Okay, so Gavel util basically allows us to submit a new rule. I need to check if there are any cron jobs running. So for that, I need pspy. I can kind of see where this is going, but I do want to validate, if I can, to see if root is basically executing any of those files on the cron. Come on. Okay, that's got stuck. Great. That really got stuck. Okay, so we cannot use pspy. User local bin. We can submit a new file and opt. Oh, no, it's root, so we don't have execution over that. We can actually cat sample. Okay, sample tmp. Okay, I want Penelope here, 8445. I need a new payload. That's gonna be that one. God damn it. System. Not the password. Return true. User local bin. Submit. Name description. Image price. Okay, so system has been disabled. It does work, but we are facing some restrictions. Good. We're making progress. From opt gavel. So system is disabled, that's fine. There's also okay. Where are my strings? Why have been strings user bin user local bin? Actually no. Let's see. Strings. Okay, so this one is not doing the validation, which means the validation is done by opt gaveld. Sandbox eval, previous bid, current bid, bidder. So if not, if the result of this is not Boolean, sandbox return error. Really? Okay. Fine, let's do it differently. Close that. We can do open root SSH authorized keys in append mode A+. Right. Okay. Basically, I'm trying to write my SSH key to the root user. Fopen. Oh, thank you for the follow, the Cybermenti. How are you doing? Okay, this has been disabled as well. What hasn't been disabled? Opt gaveld config. Okay, so disabled functions, they're quite a lot. Let's see. And what, let's see what's disabled and what we need to bypass. So eval is disabled, exe, shell exec, system pass through, process open, file get contents, fopen, sock open. Ugh. That's a lot. So we need to somehow bypass all of that. Give me 2 seconds, I'll be right back. I need a quick bio break. I'm back. So, I need to copy these files locally. Why did I stop that? What's the machine's IP address again? Oof. AT80. Okay, and I need to do the same for the one in user lib, user bin, local bin. Okay, right, Ghidra. Yeah, mine too. Does it have a black theme? I don't know. We'll just have to live with this for a while. I'm sorry. I won't spend too much time trying to figure out if Ghidra has a dark theme. Yeah. Functions. PHP safe run. Wait, can we override the PHP config file that's being loaded? I think so. Because this one, if the so this looks like it's taking it from a environment variable. If the rule path exists, it sets the data to local 30 whatever variable, and it's not doing the default php.ini file. It's actually yeah, and then it's executing the functions there. Okay. Let me take a screenshot of that. So what's the name? Rule path. Okay, let's try that out. So tell me I still have my files here. Opt, gaveld, sample, SMP, YAML, opt, gaveld, config, php. Okay, so now in here we have the sample and we have php.ini. Let's edit and remove everything from disabled functions. Come on. Okay. So disabled functions is off now. SMP. We need to clean this off because it didn't work before. And then in here we can do system. We need a payload from here. Return false. Okay. So rule path equals ability php.ini user local bin. You're very welcome. Gaveld util. Oh, I submit. Okay. And that seems to have worked. And we're root. Okay, let me write some notes. Now the question is, have we done this without disabling all the, well, without removing all the restrictions from PHP? I wonder if we could have found a function to override something. Probably. So yes, we managed to get the root shell, which basically means we have owned the system. Yeah, root.txt, so I can get the flag as well. Let me submit that. And with that, the box is done. That was an interesting box. As I said, I'll be streaming again tomorrow. Probably tomorrow I'll be continuing with the Hack Smarter. Thank you for the follow. Let's see if there's anyone streaming that I can drop you off to. What's MSec up to? Okay. I shall be dropping you guys off to MSec because he's streaming. So let's go show him some support and see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching.